I have no idea what episode it is because I haven't looked at them in days. I'm sorry I've been so AWOL, but I've been busy with my class and I don't know, just not really feeling like I had very much to say. When I'm working on the dinosaurs, it's mostly just gilding and like micro stuff that I don't think, maybe you would find it interesting, but I don't even know how to talk about it. So today's episode we're going to talk about trusting your palette. So, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of shaky cam because I have to show you things up close, but I'm working on a pretty white surface here. Let's just look. You don't have to look at me. It's pretty white, and she's a white object on, did you see her? Yeah. On a white thing. So, when I'm happily painting along on her, I get really confused because, for instance, I'll look at her and I'll see that highlight and I'll be like, man, it's so white. And I'll mix it up on my palette and I'll put it down and I'll be like, well, that doesn't look bright enough. So I'll try to get brighter and then I'll try to get brighter, and then the next thing you know, I'm all the way up at the top of my value range and I don't have anywhere to go. And that's a phenomenon we call simultaneous contrast. When I put a light thing on a light surface, it won't look adequately light because there's not enough context to inform its relative brightness. So, in the academic world, we have this concept that we call trusting your palette. So, my palette is, over here, not in the trash, is a kind of a neutral tone, right? And when I make colors down here, they're more accurate than when I judge them up there. So if that seems appropriately bright for the neutral section that I'm painting down there, it's more likely going to be right than when I put it up there and it just looks dark. Keeping your brushes clean is another way to make sure that you're not muddying up your colors. I'm definitely guilty of that. But I also just am content right now to just paint through her based on the mixtures that I've made on my palette, and then I'm laying in the background as I go, which is also super confusing because it's not like the background up there, right? It's in my head. So once the whole background is laid in, then I'll allow myself to go back and say, okay, well that could look rounder if I expanded my value range a little bit. But I need to be careful not to expand my value range like up here too much when I'm going to need those real brights down here. You know what I'm saying? So trust your palette and don't try to make decisions of doesn't look bright enough. Just try to remember that the thing has to relate entirely to itself conceptually. You set a top, you set a bottom, you move within that. It's a huge concept, but trust your palette, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow.